wanted to ask a question about Luke Haggard. I know when he came in initially, the thought was probably to redshirt him just because he needed to put on some weight just to be able to play at this level. What changed? And I guess he came in mid-year, I guess in the spring, summer, fall, that convinced you guys that he could play if needed. And what has he shown you in these first few games? I know he was like a rugby guy, so he's got great feet in terms of what his ceiling is eventually when he puts on that weight.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, what's changed is just his development. I think also the fact that, this year is different than most in regards to eligibility and being able to gain the extra year. He does need to continue to, get bigger, stronger, and he will. And he works extremely hard in the weight room. Just opportunity, with Caleb not being able to go, he gave him an opportunity and he took advantage of it, So I feel like that, his best football is ahead of him. He does not have a long history of playing offensive tackle or even offensive line at all. And so I do believe that, he's going to be a really good football player. He's already done a very, very good job for us. But I just expect him to keep improving as he gets stronger and bigger and understands the position better. His athleticism is one of his strengths for sure. And he's a really tough kid, and he cares a whole bunch, works extremely hard. Talked to our strength staff, since the first day he got here, they've loved him in the weight room. And just the way he approaches everything he does, So I just feel like that you get guys that are long and lean like he is. It's the kind of body type you're looking for to put good weight on. And so I'm just really pleased with him, and he just needs to keep developing.
All right, Zach, and then Kevin.
Tom, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. I guess just out here by the smoker. I guess just kind of how do you handle Thanksgiving with your team? I know usually this is Purdue week and, maybe the point in your season's a little different. You can just kind of manage things a little bit differently. But given that you're still kind of in the thick of it, are you kind of keeping everybody here pretty much? And just kind of what are you doing for the guys, I guess, today?
Yeah, it feels different. We're used to playing Purdue on this weekend, and that's already a change. And then the fact that you got several games left of the regular season, that's different. And then the pandemic situation with our players. So nobody's leaving. We're all going to be here together. We're doing a meal here in a little bit with our whole team up in Hinkey, a big Thanksgiving meal for all of our coaches and players and everyone to have a really hearty meal together, which should be a lot of fun. So they're looking forward to that as well. But yeah, it's been neat. It's neat to be with our football family. Players are not allowed to go out and go back. And we usually in the past have let them do that, the guys that live within a 2-hour radius of campus. But a lot of guys sometimes would go home with their teammates or even over coaches' homes. We're just going to all do that together per the situation that we're in. And I've already had a few families that have come into town for the weekend for the game. But we'll be together this afternoon. Had a really good practice this morning that we needed to have, and I think our guys have done a great job of being very locked in and focused. But yeah, it's kind of a weird feel. Even last week we were like, man, it's hard to believe that next week's Thanksgiving. It just doesn't seem everything's kind of out of sync in regards to the flow of a regular season. So, but that's what we're going to do with our guys, and then we'll come back tomorrow and do our walkthroughs like we always do on a Friday and get ready to go.
All right, Kevin, then Sammy.
Yeah, Coach, kind of following up on that point a little bit. I mean, what's been your sense for the whole week coming off the emotional loss? It's kind of the focus level and the intensity level and kind of the, strangeness of students leaving. This can be sometimes kind of a difficult time for kids.
Yeah, it definitely has a different feel to it. No class this week. I mean, everything's online anyways, but not having the actual classes themselves of academic, time. It's more just guys getting caught up and getting ahead and working hard academically with our, academic staff. That hasn't changed. But I like the look in our guys' eyes on Monday, which is important. We have that first meeting and the way they've responded this week in practice. You go through and a season has its ebbs and flows, and you have to be able to respond to those in the right way, whether you get a big win or you have a tough loss, and especially a game like that took so much energy and effort to be able to come back and give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter. So, but at the same time, there's also, there's the growth that you see in a football team when you realize, hey man, this team's got a chance to be really special. And I think that's what we saw even a week ago, and so being able to recognize that, and our one word for this week is response, and I'm anxious to see and excited to see our team respond, and that's what this is about. That's what life's about, and how we respond to the things that we're presented, both the good and the bad. And so to me, that's what great teams do. They respond. And so I'm looking forward to seeing our players do that on Saturday. And that's why this week's been very, very important, even though it is a different kind of week and we're in, Thanksgiving and holiday part of the year. But much to be thankful for. And we talked about that even today with our team. And we have our meal together. So excited for this team to be able to respond at a high level on game day.
All right, Sammy, then Stefan.
Good afternoon, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Coach. Playing Maryland, you guys have always had a difficult time stopping their scheme, whether it was Coach Etzel, Coach Canada, and even Coach Loxley. What do they do schematically that gives your defense kind of trouble stopping them, or is it just that they do a great job of putting their athletes in space to make plays?
What you just stated. They do a tremendous job with recruiting really good athletes. They got a lot of speed. They always have ever since we played them. And as you mentioned, they put them in space. They put them in different positions to get them the football. Even on special teams, all their speed that they've had and they still have and have had every year we've played them. And so I think that just creates, guys got to rally to the football. Guys got to make plays in space. And I think it just puts stress on you. It creates more one-on-one situations, because of the ability to spread you out and get those guys the ball in those positions. And I think that's been a big part of it, that I think back and go through it. And this has been one possession game every time I've been here, so every time we've played them since I've been here. So it's just, it's going to be a great football game on Saturday, and they're a very well coached football team. Coach Loxley's done an excellent job there building that program, and I know it means a lot to him to be there, and he's recruited well, and they've got a lot of really good football players, and they're playing with a ton of confidence right now, and playing their best football that they have in a long time, and we expect to see that on game day.
All right, Stefan, and then back to John Blau.
Hey, Tom, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
With Mike, this is only the second time in his career as a starter that he'll be coming off a loss. I mean, what have you kind of seen from him this week, how he turns around and like you said, your word of the week response, how he's responding to it?
Yeah, I think he's had a great week of preparation. I love the way he's maturing in that area, and the way he handles himself, the way he's practiced, which really to me that's the strongest thing you can do as a leader on your team is that your actions show the way to respond, and the way that you're locked in the meetings, the way you're locked in during practice, the way you're locked in during walkthroughs, and that's what leaders have to do. And I just see him continually growing in regards to calling guys out, lining guys up, telling them what to do, bigger than just his job, receivers, running backs, O-line, and that's part of it. That's part of being the leader of the offense, So I feel like that he's done a really good job of that this week, and setbacks are a part of life, and you have to learn how to respond the right way when things don't go your way. Even if you play, for the most part, he played at a really high level, on Saturday. But still, we as a football team didn't play 4 quarters of our best football, and that's what we have to do. And that to me is what leaders like, Michael Penix and Harry Kreider on offense, and Micah McFadden and Cam Jones on defense, and even Leno, who's not playing right now, but those are our 5 captains, and those guys are, even though Leno's not on the field, he's still behind the scenes being a leader and doing a great job in that role, getting his body back right and putting himself in position to impact this team in whatever role he's been given, which that's the role he has right now. So Michael Penix is one of those guys, and that's what we expect from our captains, as we expect from our leaders.
All right, John, go ahead.
Just one more about Luke. I talked to the junior college coach out there, and he was telling me that Darren Hiller like really had a specific, like he just wanted to see Luke. Like a lot of coaches will come around, they just want like a list who the top guys are. And he was very specific, and he wanted to see him. How much credit do you give Darren Hiller for identifying a guy like that? And does he have to sell you at all on like a JUCO guy? Like he's got this frame or this ability, and I see this in him, or what's the conversation when you're taking a JUCO guy like that?
Yeah, that is it's a great question. So basically, in that situation, yeah, I give a lot of credit to Darren Hiller on this one because that's he's very familiar with the junior college system out there in California. I'm not. I've been out there very limited amount of times, just even in visits, and so but he's from there. Just knows them all, knows who to go look for, knows who to go see, and like you said, he went there just to see Luke at that particular school, and he did. He had to sell me on him because it was about does he have the mass? Does he have the ability to be big enough? And interestingly, so you go through and you do your due diligence, and he physically goes out there and videos what he's doing and watched him. And so then I watched all that because I hadn't had a chance to meet him. When we offered him, it was based off of the film and Coach Hiller's assessment of him, and obviously the film evaluation. But as far as the in-person part, it was with Darren. I'm relying totally on him, for that. And then he came out and took his official visit when I had the chance to meet him face to face. But even then, though, it was about, to me, it was the size of his hands. And that's, to me, was what I saw. And even in the pictures and the video of what we took of him while he was out there, that's what really shows what a guy looks like, in terms of the ability to say, okay, is he a big guy? And yeah, he was tall. We all, it's easy to see he's tall, but sometimes guys are so linear that they have a hard time gaining, enough weight to weigh 300 pounds, and play on the offensive line in the Big Ten, which is what we kind of say, hey, can you get to 300 pounds? And so he's not there yet, but he's getting closer. He's about 15 pounds away right now. So, but yeah, to me, it was all those features. You look at that, and even like his jaw, just the size of he's a big guy, even though he was light. And so you just kind of, you put all those pieces together and you look at the film and you get him here and you try to decide, okay, because you're just projecting. What's he going to be, a year or 2 years from now? And we talked about at the time, redshirting him and then giving a chance to be able to develop him in that regard. So it's just, talk about evaluating guys and trying to figure it out. But that was one that we hit on, and I give Coach Hiller all the credit.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving. Elio.